Hello everyone, this is Rajesh. Welcome to my YouTube channel Just for Teachers. Today in this video, I'm going to show how to use Assessprep. So by end of this video, you will be able to understand how to create a test, how to assign the test, and how to correct the test. So without wasting the time further, let's start. So you can see this is how your Assessprep looks like, right? So I'm going to start creating a test. So you have to click on this plus symbol here. Once you click on this plus symbol, you will get a pop-up where you have to start filling up the test details. Like I'm going to enter the test name as demo, and the test duration I'm assuming as 25 minutes, and say the test is on Monday, starts at 9:30 a.m. So I'll just select 9:30 a.m. and I'm going to assign this test to both HL and SL students of DP. And yeah, there is something called, do you want to collaborate with anyone? So let's say I'm a physics teacher, so I want to collaborate with my colleagues, with Shivram sir. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and collaborate with them, and Ashish. Yeah, next, yeah, so click on Ashish. So you have something called calculator, spell check, add as extra instructions, and allow browser. So if you want to give access, if you want to give the students to access the calculator, you go ahead and enable it. And if you want to allow the students to have a spell check in the background, then you can go ahead and give that also, but I would not recommend giving the spell check option. Then third, add extra instructions. If you want to give any extra instruction to the students, then you can go ahead and enable it. And I'm going to show you where to add that instruction later on. And don't forget to allow browser, because this is the very important feature that we need during this pandemic, as we are going to virtually invigilate our students from our home. So we want them to run the Google Meet or Zoom or maybe a Microsoft Team app in the background. So don't forget to allow browser. And yeah, as you have enabled this extra instruction here, this is a space where you can go ahead and give instruction. So I'm just randomly just typing something so that to make you understand how the instruction to be added. Yeah. So this is the space for adding the extra instruction, and go ahead, click on save. So once you're done with this, you have created a test file. Now we have to go ahead and start adding questions. So to add questions, you have to click on the test file name, which will open the page like this, and you have something called add task. So click on add task. Once you add task, there's the name that you have to give it to. It's up to you. I want to just add up just number 1 because that's my question number 1. Okay, and go ahead and start adding sub bits, or you call it as bits, under the question number 1. So where do you add them? So you have something plus over here with multiple options to add. Starts from add audio, add video, add picture, add segment, text segment, add questions, add a PDF file, or add a simulation, because physics people or all sciences definitely need the simulation feature. And add from library, right? So which is library means the library provided by Assessprep team. Now, so I have already have a subjective long answer type question ready with me. But before that, I want to show you what all type of questions that we can add in Assessprep. That starts from subjective long answer type, MCQs, interactive drawing, table chart, GeoGebra graph, and so on till classify. So by end of this video, I'm going to cover up each and every type of question. So let's first start with subjective long answer type question, right? So I've already created a question with me. I have ready with me in my Word doc, and you can see there is a text file, right? This is a text, it's a paragraph, and then below that I have 2 questions with their answers as well. So first what I have to do is I have to copy this text and go to my Assessprep, click on add text segment. Yeah, so once you click add text segment, it provides you a text box where you can just simply paste your paragraph and click on done. So once you're done with this, you can see the text segment is added over here, right? Now, when I go back to my Word, I see there are 2 questions under this paragraph. So when I have to add questions, so copy that question, go back to your Assessprep, and you have to select add question, right? Because this is how I'm going to start adding a question. So click on add question and enter the marks, assuming that marks, it's a 2 marks question. And as I said, I'm going to start with subjective long answer type. So yeah, this is the space. The left side is for question, so I'm going to go ahead and paste my question there, And this right side space is about explanation. So explanation is nothing but the correct answer for the question. Okay, so don't worry, this space is not going to be reflected while the students are writing the answer. This is going to be reflected once you're done correcting all the paper. Okay, so yeah, that's an answer space, and go ahead, click on done. Once you're done with this, you can see the question is added with the explanation over here. And again, I'm repeating this, and the explanation is not going to be reflected while the students are writing the test. This is going to reflect after you done with completing, done with your corrections, right? Now, if you're interested to know how this paper is going to look like on a student's app, then there is something called preview test. I'm repeating again, go to actions, click on preview test. Once you go to preview test, your interface, which is going to be shown here now, is going to be similar to the interface of student. Okay, this is a really important feature because this gives you an understanding how the student is going to see my question. You can see I've added a question over here and the answer is provided. The space is for students. They can just simply type the answers over here. That's it. So let's go back to our teacher's portal. Yeah, so I'm done with the question number 1. Now I'm going to add my question number 2. So to add the second question, you have to go to the bottom and click on the plus, and you have to again go ahead and add question. Now I'm going to go back to my Word doc and select my question number 2, copy my question number 2, go back to Assessprep. If the question number 2 is for 5 marks, just go ahead and add 5 marks. I'm not changing the type of the question because I'm focusing only on subjective or long type question for now. So click on add question and see, I'm just pasting my question over here. On the right side, I'm going to go ahead and paste my answer. So copying my answer from Word doc. Yeah, so I've pasted my answer as well and just click on done. So I've added task 1, which I call it as question number 1, with 2 sub bits under it as a 1.1 and 1.2. Clear? So that's all about long answer type questions. Now let's move to question number 2 type. Now I'm going to add the second question. As you can see, the second question is MCQ type. I've already added a question here with their options. So let's move to Assessprep first and add the task with the name. I'm just naming it as MCQ for better understanding. Save changes. So I can see the second question is of MCQ type. I have to start adding questions over here. So I'm going back to my Word doc, copy my question, go back to Assessprep, click on add question. And now I'm going to select MCQ, right? And assuming the marks, it's just 1 mark question. Add question field, copy, and I already copied the question. I'm going to paste it over here. Yeah, so at the bottom, you can see there are options to paste the choices that I have, right? So I'm just going ahead and adding up all the options below it. 1 is done, second, copy, paste. Now the third one, copied. Yeah, so to add the third one, just click on add item, paste, and go ahead, copy fourth, and click on add item and paste. Yeah, so once you have added all the options over here, you can see all the 4 options I have added over here, which I can see in my Word doc. If you want, like if you have given a question, let's say select the correct answer and justify your answer. Okay, select and justify your answer. Then you can go ahead and click on provide additional text box. But this question, which I don't want any justification, so I don't enable with additional text box. And second thing, don't forget to select the correct answer. So the correct answer for this question is iron, as Fe is the correct symbol for iron. And once you're done with this, click on done. Okay, so once you're done with this, you can see the question is added over here. As I just want to see how the question is going to reflect on the student's page, I'm going to click on preview test, which will take me to the next another tab and show how the paper is going to look like, right? So let's see how it look like. Yeah, so this is the first question, which is subjective or long answer type, but we have already seen it. I'm going to go to the next question, which is MCQ type, and you can see the questions over here, and student can select any of the correct option they feel, right? And the best part is the MCQs are self-corrected. Like Assessprep provides MCQs to be corrected by itself because you have already selected the correct answer as iron. If anyone selects zinc, which is going to be wrong, and yeah, it's a self-correction option is there for MCQs, particularly only for MCQs, right? So that's all about MCQs. Now let's move to the third type question. Now I'm going ahead and adding third question, which is interactive based, and you can see I've already added a question here, but there is a picture which I'm going to add. So let's go back to Assessprep, and I'm going to add the third task with the name interactive drawing for understanding. So save changes. Now, under this third question, which is interactive drawing, I have to add a question, right? So before adding question, I'm going back to my Word doc and copying this question here, going back to Assessprep. So yeah, add question, assuming this question is for 3 marks. And now I'm going to go with the third, which is interactive drawing. Click on it, add question field. So I'm just pasting my question there. And yeah, so scroll down, you'll find there's a space for interactive, like which where you have to upload the picture. So when I click on this insert image, it asks you to select file. Click on it. I've already downloaded a file with a folder name Assessprep. You can do the same thing. So I'm clicking on this moon orbit because that's the picture required for this question. And insert image, click on insert image. Okay, so once you click on insert image, you will find your picture on the space. You can just move around this picture anywhere, but I wanted to be this a bit larger size, so you can just scale it by just extending this, and you can just place it anywhere you want. Yeah, so once I've already adjusted the size, now you can go ahead and click on done. Once you have added this question, I want to show you how is this going to be for students. So go ahead, actions, preview test. You can see the question is given here, draw both centripetal force and the linear velocity of a satellite in the diagram given below. So relevant in your subject, you may have any other kind of diagrammatic based, or you may need a student to draw the diagram for a particular picture. So with this example, I'm going to show you how to draw, how students are going to draw the picture here or draw the diagram. So this question needs a arrow, so I'm just clicking on draw arrow. There's a moon over here, so velocity is the tangential vector, so this is how the students are going to draw and leave it. Now the second arrow that they have to draw, so they're going to draw this arrow towards the moon. So the first arrow that I've drawn is which represents the linear velocity, and the second, which is towards the earth, is a centripetal force. But yeah, we want the students to even name them, isn't it? So they will click on add text. Once they click on add text, they can just write it over there. Yeah, so let's say they write it as velocity. Yeah, so they can just drag this box and bring it closer to the first vector, and again they click it on add text and type it as centripetal force, and they can place this text box wherever they need. So this is the centripetal force, right? So this is how you can use this type of question. If you have any kind of question which you want the students to draw something on a paper, then definitely you can go ahead and give this type of question. So I heard some of the questions were from the students were like, sir, how to draw a free body diagram. So I just want to go back, and let's say there is a free body diagram question. So free body diagram is nothing but where the student has to draw something by themselves. I'm not going to give any background, no picture. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going and deleting the previous picture. I'm going to add a white background. So make sure you have downloaded a white background picture from Google, and I'm going to add a white background and click on insert image. So I can just enlarge the white background so that the white background is provided. You can see I can, when the moment I click, this is the size of the picture I have, but I want to enlarge the size of this picture so that the entire screen is covered with the white background, and go ahead, click on done. Now I'm going to show you how this white background is going to help the students to draw something. So I'm going to go back to the students interface. This is how the student interface is going to be. So when I click on the third question, previously I gave a background picture, but now I gave a white background. So you see that there's nothing, but actually there's a white picture which completely matches with the white background of our Assessprep tool. So let's say they have to draw something. They have to draw a circle. Maybe this is not a good circle. So there is an option to click and add circle. This is a circle which given by the Assessprep tool itself. They can change the size, and let's say they have to show some arrow about the force direction, or maybe there's a downward force, like that, so on. So this is how this third type of question help the students as well as the teacher in the exam. Now let's move to the fourth type. Now I'm going to add the fourth question, which is also based on MCQ, but the difference between the previous MCQ and now is previously I had only one correct answer. Now I have multiple correct answers. So let me just go back to Assessprep and click on add task, and just for convenience I've just added the fourth question, name as MCQ with multiple correct answer, save changes. Now I'm going to go back to my Word doc to copy the question. This question I've created with myself. Where is Oak Ridge? Just for, I didn't find any multiple answer question online, so just without wasting time, I just created by myself. Yeah, so click on add question here, and let's say this question is for 1 mark again. Now I'm going to go with the fourth type, which is MCQ multiple correct answer. So click on add question field. Now, so this is the space where you paste your question, and below there it's the same interface as the previous MCQ type, where you have to start pasting all your options. So I'm going ahead and copying my options. Right? Yeah. So you can see I've added all the 4 options, and there are multiple answers here, right? Definitely Mokridge is in Telangana as well as it's in Hyderabad. Yeah, same thing. So if you want justification to be given by the students, you go ahead and enable the additional text box. If you don't want any justification for this particular question, whereas you can see this question doesn't need any justification, so I disabled additional text box and I go ahead, click on done. So this is how the question is, and these two reflect that these are the 2 correct answers. But now I'm going to show you how this is going to reflect on the student's page. Again, I'm going ahead, clicking on preview. Yeah, you can see the 4th question over here. So when I click on 4th question, the question is there, where is Oak Ridge, with the options over here. This is how the question number 4 looks like. Now let's go ahead and add the 5th type. Now I'm going to add the 5th question, which is based on table. You can see I've already created a question which says use a table given below to enter the data recorded in your experiment. So whenever you have a question which is based on tabular form, definitely go ahead and go with the 5th option. So let's see how to add this question. So I'm going to go back to my Assessprep, click on add task. I'm going to click on the 5th task, which is based on table. So just type as table. Okay, yeah, table, and save changes. Now as I have to add the questions, I'm going back to my Word doc, copy the question, and come back to Assessprep, click on question. If this question is for, let's say, 3 marks, and don't forget that as you're dealing with a table, so click on table or chart, go with add question fields. I'm going to paste my question which I have copied from the Word doc over here, right? Next, when you come down, when you scroll down, you will find a default table given there, right? But you have to make some small changes here. So small changes are, if you wanted to give the name or the heading of the table as force, because as you see that I've already given the name or the title or the headings of the table as force and acceleration. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this columns, sorry, the rows as force and acceleration. Yeah, so I don't want this column 2 or the column 3. So you have something here plus and minus, you can reduce by clicking on minus. And if you want to add, let's say you want to add, just click on plus, it will add more columns, but I want to just have 2 columns. That's the reason I subtracted 2 columns from there. Now I don't want this row 1, 2 and 3 to be reflected on student's page. So go ahead and click on delete, just backspace, hit on backspace. Now you want, let's say, 5 rows, right? Already I have utilized one of the row. I want additional 5 rows, so therefore total 6 rows are required. So click on plus, that gives you the 6th row there. Done. So I've already added table. Now if you want the students to edit the pre-filled text, what do you mean by pre-filled text? Is the text that I've added, like force and acceleration. If you wanted the students to edit, if they want, then definitely go ahead and enable this option. But if you don't want the students to edit the side headings or the headings of the table, right, then disable it. Now what if you want the student to comment answer or maybe justifying something below this table? Then you go ahead and enable with additional text box. But I don't want to give additional text box because I just wanted them to record the reading and just leave it, that's it. So that's why I disabled additional text box from here. Now go ahead, click on done, right? Yeah, so you can see the question is added with the table over here, right? So that's all about the question number 5. Now let's go to question number 6. Now I'm going to add the 6th question, which is based on GeoGebra graph. You need this feature whenever you wanted the students to draw a graph based on any data given by you or maybe the data that they have recorded in the experiment. So copying the question, okay, sorry. So let's go back to Assessprep. I'm going to add the task with the name, let's say, graph, save changes. Yes. So once the question is created over here, I can start adding up questions. So add question, and let's say the graph question is of 5 marks, and select GeoGebra graph, add question field. I'm going back to my Word doc, copying the plot the graph, pasting it in, pasting it in the text box provided, plot the graph. And when you scroll down, you'll find the graph is already there, right? So you don't need to make any changes. You can just go and save, but make sure if you wanted the students to write something else based on graph, then you can enable additional text box. But if you're not interested to give any additional text box, then disable it. Yeah, you can see I've already disabled it here, and go ahead, save it. Now, this GeoGebra is a very good tool. If you wanted the students to practice at home without using Assessprep tool, then I would suggest you to use this website, geogebra.org/calculator. Whatever the interface this website provides is the same interface they find in Assessprep also. Okay, so that's all about how to add the question number 6 based on graph. And if you want to see how the interface looks like for the students, I'm going ahead and click on preview test. Yeah, so this is how the interface looks like for the students, right? And they can just, by clicking on this option over here, they can move the graph anywhere they want. Let's say they just deal with the first quadrant of the graph. They don't need all the 4 quadrant. They can just shift the graph towards they can shift the graph towards left like this. And I wanted to place some points. So click on this point and they are going to just place the data points like that. And if they want to draw the line, this is how they're going to place the line of best fit. Okay, this is how the students are going to draw the graph in their exam. Fine, so that's all about the question number 6 based on graph. Now let's move to question number 7. Now I'm going to add the 7th question, which is based on fill in the blanks. So you can see I've already created a question with I am sorry dash the mistake. So I'm going back to my Assessprep. I want to add the 7th task with writing 7 fill and just save changes. Okay, so I want to add the question there. So I'm just going to copy this fill in the blanks question and paste it in add question, right? Let's say this question is for 1 mark. Go ahead, click on 1, and yeah, don't forget that you have to click on fill in the blanks, right? Yeah, so click on add question field. Now delete this whatever is given in the tool and paste whichever the question you want to add. Now wherever there is a space, like wherever you want answer to be filled, so please delete that. Okay, I don't want, because tool do not accept it. So you have to keep your cursor wherever you want to give the space. See, as you can see, I wanted the space given between sorry and the. So I have my cursor is between sorry and the, and I click on add text input. So this is how the text input space is given to the students in the exam. Now if you want the tool to correct automatically after the student done with the test, you can enter the correct answer also. As I know the answer is 4, so I just enter the correct answer there. But as I said, no explanation is going to reflect on students page while they write the test. Don't worry about it. Now I'm going ahead and click on done. Okay, so I want to show you how this is going to look like on the students page. So going back to I want to show you how this is going to look like on a student's page. So I'm going to click on the 7th question, which is based on fill in the blank. See, I am dash the mistake. So I'm sorry, the mistake. So therefore students can enter the answer whichever he wants over here. So this is how the question can be created with the use of fill in the blanks. Now let's move to 8th type. I'm going to add the 8th question, which is based on labeling the diagram. As you can see, I've created a question which says use the map given and label the following states: A Telangana, B Andhra. So I'm going to Assessprep, create a new task with the name, let's say label, drag and drop, save changes. I'm going back to my Word doc, copy this question. Now create question under this 8th task with label, drag and drop, assuming this question is of 2 marks. So add question field. Now in this question text, I'm going to paste my question. Yes. Now when I scroll down, I have to as I have to add an Indian map. So I'm going to click on insert background image, select file, which allows me to select file from my folder. Yeah. Once selected file, you click on insert image. Yeah. So once you have clicked on insert image, you can resize your image as per your requirement, but most probably the size given by the Assessprep tool is going to be fine for you. But in case you want to resize it, you can go ahead and make changes. See, this is how I'm just making changes over here. Now once done with making all the changes required, click on done. Okay, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, as this question is based on labeling the diagram, right? So I have to label it. So I'm going to label this place as Telangana and this space over here as Andhra. Okay, so done. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on done. So now I'm going to show you how this question type help you as a teacher or help the students while writing the exam. So I'm going to go to this preview and I'm going to reload the page. I'm going to go to the eighth question which I've created just now based on labeling type. Yeah. Now you can see now I've entered the answer over here, but for students the options are going to be at the bottom. That means they have to drag and drop whichever the answer is correct. So as you can see, a student A might have done this wrong. If I refresh the page, yeah, so if a student knows the answer, this is Andhra and this is Telangana, this is how they're going to answer this in the exam. So if you wanted to give a question based on labeling the diagram, maybe the bio teacher can use this while they give a question based on label the body parts, or maybe geography teacher can give this based on labeling the geographical locations in the world map. In the same manner, all sciences can also use, like physics can use by labeling the parts of a machine, so on. So this is how the eighth question help you while based on labeling the diagram. Okay, now let's move to question number 9. I'm going to create the ninth question, which is based on labeling the diagram. Previous question was also based on labeling diagram, even this now. So after done with creating this ninth question, I'm going to show you what is the difference between the previous question and this one. So let me go to the Assessprep, create add task. I'm naming this question as labeling fill in the blanks, save changes, go into my Word doc, copy this question, coming back to Assessprep, creating the question, assuming this question is of 2 marks, label fill in the blanks. Okay, so once done with labeling fill in the blanks, I'm going to show you what's the difference between this two. Okay, fine. So click on add question fields and I'm going to paste my question in the question text field, and then I'm going to upload the map once again over here, select file, insert image, resize the image, and going to add label, right? So I'm just going to click over here one and going to click over here the second one. As you can see this, I'm not typing any answer over here because I want the students to fill the answer. Okay, so I'm going ahead and click on done. So I'm moving to students preview and reload this page so that I can see the changes. Yes, so move to question number 9. That's what I've created just now. So you can see the question number 9, which looks very similar to question number 8 I've created before. But let me just tell you what is the question number 9 first. Yeah, so you can see the question number 9, it says use a map given below and label the following states. So students have to type which state is this and which state is this, right? Yeah. So whereas in the previous one, the question number 8, you have provided the answers, like you have provided the options. They have to just drag and drop. They have to just drag and drop. That's a small difference between the two options. One was label drag and drop, and the ninth one is totally based on label fill in the blanks. So whichever is convenient for you, you can go ahead and give the question based on labeling the diagram. So that's all about question number 9. Let's move to question number 10. Now I'm going to create the 10th question, which says hotspot. This is a very nice feature if you wanted to, let's say, circle some spots on an Indian map, or maybe for physics, if I'm going to circle few parts of a generator, and I may ask saying which part of the generator is a armature. In the same manner, I have created a question here. Which part of the country is popular for coal mining? So let's see how this question is to be created in Assessprep. So I'm now going to create a new task with the name hotspot, right? So save changes, and then I'm going to create a question. Before that, let me just copy the question from the Word doc. Yes, going back to Assessprep, adding question, assuming this question is of 2 marks, and hotspot, add question field, pasting my question, and now I'm going to add Indian map again, insert, select file, yes, and then insert image, and after that you may just resize it. Yeah. Now what I have to do now is I'm just going to place some, I'm just going to put a spot, like let's say this is one spot, I say this is one spot, I say, and this is one spot, I say, and let's say Jharkhand is over here, so this is one spot, I say. Okay, fine. So when I click on save, but don't forget that you have to click one correct answer. You have to choose the correct answer. So out of all this four spot, if I believe like this part of the country is popular for coal mining, so you can see it's reflected in green color, right? So I'm now going to click on save. Again, don't worry about you have given answer there. It is only for you, but for the students, the interface is going to look like it. I'm just going to reload the page once again so that the changes are, so you can see I'm going to go to the 10th question which I've created just now with the help of hotspot. So students are going to see the India map like this with four spots given by you. So if they feel this is the right location for popular for coal mining, they click it. But automatically the tool is going to correct your answers because you have selected this as a correct answer in the background, right? So I hope you understand how to create the question with the help of hotspot. May not be very useful for you this feature, but I think in physics or maybe in bio or maybe subject like geography, if they want the students to just select instead of just typing or dragging or drop or something, just want to select a particular location. Okay, in a body part, if I'm asking just select which part of the body is having a thyroid gland, I can just give us spots in the body and the student can select the particular location, right? Okay, so that's all about the question number 10. Now let's move to question number 11. Now I'm going to create the 11th question, which is based on match the following. So let's go to Assessprep, add task. I'm going to give the name as matching, save changes. I'm going to come back to Word doc, just copy the match the following, create the question, assuming this question is of 3 marks again. Now I'm going to select matching, add question field. So enter question text, and it's going to be match the following. But when you scroll down, you find the column A and the column B. So column A is, I'm going to select like this, circular motion, and I'm going to paste it over here. So let's do that. Yeah, so you can see I've already copy pasted all the required column A values and the column B values. So if you want the answers to be justified in a given text box, so you can enable the text box, but I don't want because this is just normal match the following. So I'm going ahead and click on done. Once this is done, I'm going to show you how this is going to look like for student with the help of preview. Okay, so this is how the preview is going to look like, right? So student is going to see all those column A values on the left hand side, whereas the column B is completely empty. So what they have to do is they have to just drag and drop the answers, right? They have to just drag and drop the answers. So this is all about a match the following, right? This is how you can create a match the following. I hope you understand how to use the match the following option. And let's get to the next question, number 12. Now I'm going to create a 12th question which is based on sorting or ordering. So as you can see, one of the questions I've created over here which says the following question has 4 sentences. Arrange the sentences in proper order to make a meaningful passage. So let's go to Assessprep, create a new task. I'm going to name this task as sorting or ordering, save changes. I'm going to Word doc, select this question, create the question in Assessprep, and giving the marks, let's say 2. I'm selecting sorting or ordering, add question field. In this enter question text, I'm going to paste my question. And when you scroll down, this is the space where you're going to randomly place all the options, right? So I'm just going to place one by one. So as you can see, I've already pasted all my options from the question paper. Yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead with save it, done. Now just to understand how this question looks like for the students, again I'm going to go to preview. So you can see this is how the question looks like. The following questions are four sentences. Arrange the sentence in proper order to make a meaningful passage. So based on their understanding, they can just place them in order, right? This is how the student is going to place in order. Fine, perfect. So this is how the question number 12, sorting and ordering, help you to create the question in Assessprep. Now, let's move to question number 13. Now I'm going to create the 13th question, which is based on classification. As you can see, I've created a question here. Says use the information given below and classify vector and scalar quantity. So let's go to Assessprep, create a task. I'm going to name this task as classify, save changes, going back to my Word doc, copy the question, come here, add question, assuming this question is for 2 marks, and this last option, classify, selected, and go to add question fields. Yeah, so I'm going to copy, sorry, I already have copied it, and I'm going to paste it over here. And when you scroll down, you see there are column 1 and column 2, right? So you just enter all the required information. Like I'm just going to copy and paste all the information that I have in this question. So yeah, once I'm done copy pasting all those options I have, and I'm just putting column names as vector and the right side as a scalar. Okay, fine. So once done with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on save. So now I'm going to show you how is this going to be on a student's page. So going to Assessprep preview. Yes, so this is how the question is going to reflect on the student's page. So you have a vector space, you have a scalar space, and what they have to do is they're just going to drag and drop, right? So like vector, which has both magnitude and direction, scalar has only magnitude. The example of that is a force, an example of scalar is a temperature. So this is how they're going to place it. So that's all about the question number 13th. Hope I have clarified all the doubts that you people have in creating the question. Now I'm going to show you how to publish the test with the students. So first you have to click on your test which you have created, and then you have something called actions. Click on actions and you have to click on publish test. So once you publish test, you are going to get 3 different codes. One is called test code, second is called access code, third is called invigilator code. So what are the 3 different codes? Access code is a code with which a student can start the test. Test code is the code with which student download his or her test file. But remember, never ever share the invigilator code with the student, because this is a code which you have to keep it confidential. And so when I have to use this, in case a student have some issues like they're unable to type the answer, or the screen froze, or the Wi-Fi has issue, or the power gone, in all these cases we suggest the student to force restart their laptop. Once they force restart their laptop, they have to come back to Assessprep and they have to continue the test. When they continue the test, the Assessprep asks them to enter the explanation along with the invigilator code. Now you have to call the parent and tell the invigilator code so that the parent enter, and make sure that student do not see or do not know about this code. The reason for that is students can actually change a lot of things, like they can extend the time, they can do a lot of changes, in the Assessprep, which we don't want as a teacher, right? So keep this code as a confidential. The only 2 codes that you're going to share with the student, one is access code, second one is test code. So that's all about how to publish the test. Now the last part of the video is how to correct the test. So example, I'm taking physics grade 9 term and assessment, which has already got published and students have written the test and they've already submitted the test in the month of July 21st. And then I'm going to click on it. So I can see a number of students' name, whoever have submitted the test, whoever have participated in the test. So once you click on that, it will show you some options like publish test, live dashboard, submissions, and analytics. So you as a teacher, if you want to correct a student's file, what you have to do is you have to click on the student's name. Once you click on student's name, it will take you to another page where you can see all the answers written by that particular student. So for example, I have clicked on Aditya Reddy's file and I can see there are 8 questions given to them, and under first question there are 6 bits, second question there are 7 bits, and so on. So I'm just going to check 2.2 for your understanding how to correct this 2.2. So when you click on this 2.2, there is a question given here, and the question says complete the table with the units. So the units in the row 3, they have to fill in the units in the row 3. So as you can see, this student has not filled the units, so I'm going to give 0 for the units, but there is a b bit under this. Enter the values of time in the column A. So in the column A, they have to enter the times, and the student has entered the time very correctly. So I'm going to enter the marks, and the marks space is over here. As you can see, I've given 0 for not entering the units, and I've given 1 mark for entering all those values correctly. So this is how you correct the paper, all teachers. So once you're done with all the corrections, now you wanted the students to know their marks. So what you have to do is come back to home page in your test file. Okay, so when you come back to this page again, you can see published test, live dashboard, submission analytics. Once you have corrected all the papers, right, if you sure that you're done with correction, then you have to straight away go to actions and click on mark as all checked, mark all as checked. This is something makes the student to see their marks on their dashboard. That's all about how to create the test, how to publish the test, and how to correct the test. Thank you all. Hope this video has helped you all to understand how to use Assessprep. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel. If you want anything else, please type it in comment box so that I will try to make another video on it in the next. So we'll meet in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.